Hey guys, Steven Rock here, back with another video. Today we're going to be reviewing the Sparkdoll Ultraman Gomess figure. So first things first about this figure, in terms of pros, I gotta be honest with you, my favorite thing about this figure just has to be, in my opinion, the detail. In my opinion, you could say that the detail from the front perspective doesn't look amazing, but if you were to give it a real close look, you could really probably see what I'm talking about, guys, because you just look at the front of this figure, like I said, you really give it a look, you might know what I'm saying. Here and around the detail around the waist, you could see like these lines being made, especially around the neck. This line, these lines around here. You can see detail around the chest. Besides just the lines, you can see like the individual lines made under here. You can see like the scales. The scales are very important to point out. That is very, very good detail. The fingers are pretty nice with just being a little bit bumpy for the fingernails. But the scales all over the figure just prove that the detail was really cared for and well done for this figure. Another thing is all these kind of bumps behind the head here and around the neck a little bit. You really see it definitely coming down. It almost looks like turkey, turkey neck. You know what I mean? Like that floppy thing. Kind of looks like this a little bit. But you get the idea. The facial details are alright, not too special. Teeth they're just simply painted on. Facial detail, like I said, is okay, but if you were to really give it close attention, I guess it's in fact pretty good, because you look under the eyebrows and you give it the angry expression, and just under, you have the eyes and so forth. But I feel like it is very good. And also the facial detail kind of looks like Alvin from Alvin and the Chipmunks. I don't know. A lot of weird comparisons coming out of this figure, and you get the detail around here, the lines here, this kind of like pointy part, looks like a shark fin coming down with the tail. So enough with the comparisons, because now we're giving a little too much. Let's go on to the next thing I like about this figure. The next thing I like about this figure is paint job. In my opinion, the paint job on this figure, although there's really 3 colors, at least from what I'm looking at right now, it is actually quite nice because there's not really any paint scuffs. Maybe a few here on the bottom toes, the bottom claws, but that's mainly because that's where the greenish, this same paint is the same color paint as like a Godzilla figure. So, it meets up with the yellowish claws. So I don't really count that as a paint scuff because you're just, the 2 paints are now interacting with one another. What really would be a paint scuff is if like you didn't have any paint near it, like around these claws. You can see on the very tip there are a few paint scuffs. But other than that, they're very minor, not even that noticeable. And the fact that the 3 other paint colors are widely noticed, the nice brown color around the chest, of course the main bluish color, dark bluish color, and then the yellow white color for the claws and the teeth, the fangs, and all that stuff. So it is, in my opinion, when it comes to that, very noticeable and very good. But it's quite average, not above average, not under average. So let's move on to the next thing. Next thing I like about this figure is articulation, which is also an average because it has 3 articulation joints, which is average for a Sparkdoll, meaning the articulation is given an average. You have the tails, with the tail which goes 360 without an issue, arms which go 360 without an issue, and that's about it in terms of articulation. So since it's 3 joints, I'm just going to give that an average pro. So let's move on to the cons of this figure. Now, I only have 1 con, but it is a major one, so of course it's going to affect the rate a little bit, but that is back to the articulation. Yes, there were 3 joints, and yes, it's average. The issue is, you might notice a 4th one, and that is the waistline. The issue is, it's a glue seal, and it doesn't move, and I don't feel like that shouldn't be the case. I really feel like this should be given the opportunity to move, because it doesn't even look like a glue seal. It actually definitely looks like you can move it, but you can't. You just can't. And that is a con, because if it had 4 joints, then the articulation would be above average, and from what I can see, there wouldn't be any cons. But there'd always be some sort of con, so, I mean, what can I say? But either way, the waist should move. I just don't understand why it should move. So, I mean, it's kind of odd to me. I don't know why that's really the case, but, I mean, what can you say? It is made as it is, but from what my standpoint on it is, it is a con. It is an issue. So, without further ado, I'm going to rate this figure a solid 9 out of 10. Mainly because there was one giant point taken off for that waist con, and as of now, I can't really think of any other major cons. So one con for the waistline, and for a 9 out of 10, that makes the Spark Doll actually fairly good. Like I say every review, if you're an Ultraman fan, Spark Doll collector, or just a Kaiju fan in general, I'd recommend you get this figure. There's no reason why you shouldn't. It's nice to have in your collection. And with that being said, I hope you all enjoyed this review. Like, comment, subscribe. See you guys later, and bye-bye.